We've got a very special guest with us.
Come on, love my guy.
Another podcast colleague in the game.
A seasoned vet in this thing, really and truly.
Word. I'm actually kind of gassed right now. Slightly a celebrity standing.
Hey, don't gas me.
Boy in this thing.
Don't gas me.
From the Green Passport Podcast, we have... Introduce yourself.
Yo, why do you have to get me this myself, bro? After all the gassing, bro. Obviously, he's one of the co-hosts of the Green Passport Podcast. Whole time my boys are finding the Kiki, and yeah, man. I have to big up my thing, and obviously, you guys know where to get. I mean, you don't. I mean, you do know now. I mean, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcast from.
All of the platforms.
Yeah, but yeah, man, I'm really gassed to be on here, yeah, because one of my friends actually put me on, and then I was just like, nah, these lot having like conversations that I want to have, bro, because I just love the music thing, and even though our show is just a lot more political, and then we do talk about the BS every now and then. Sometimes I just want to have like an hour, 2 hour conversation about the music thing, bro.
Yeah, no, it was crazy when you hit us up because like we were literally coming off like our first season of podcasting. We didn't know what we were doing. We just jumped on it
on
like
Zoom, you know. That's how wicked Zoom.
Literally, and then we got the message from you, and I was just like, wow, like of all people to come and message us like that. Like, it was just mad. Like, it just put us in perspective of, like, where we're going and, like, what we could do with it.
No, that's
and,
love,
like, collaboration as well.
One thing I don't like, with the whole, not even just, like, media scene, is that some people, like, you might see something and you wouldn't even show love until it's, like...
It's popping. It's sneaky,
like, it's
bro. I don't respect that. That's the
like,
same thing with music where I stopped it a little bit. Because a lot of people, and we've seen this, innit? Where a lot of men will come meet you and it's like, bro, you know what you're thinking, but it's like that the people are waiting to publicly do it, like to your face, it's a boom, like rare. That's cold. I heard such and such and such.
Yeah. But they're not trying to like shout out on like social media. They'll be shouting out every other thing on like the bigger artists and people that they
don't know. You know, I'm seeing man.
Oh my god!
I'm seeing man wish Lil Durk happy birthday and that, like
tagging him in as well. Like he's about to watch your story.
I'm thinking,
that's
what? And like Busta Rhymes' birthday. Hold tight, Busta, a legend anyway. But like. You're wishing next.
But they will never support your thing when it actually blows. It's like, oh, his thing is actually doing bits. Like, might as well start plugging so it makes it look like, oh, I was one of the supporters right there. It's just like, bro, like, and I've seen it happen because our thing started and then we were doing decent. I used to beg my friends to literally hop on the thing. And then when we started getting love from certain people, especially Big Up Nice Baby lot, like when we started getting love from people like them, it was like, oh, like, these lot are serious. And that's when people started showing love. Like, I even told you, like, one of my bullies from back in the day actually reached out to congratulate me. And I was like, rah! Yeah. Like, do you know how hard a man has to be working for someone to see sit like that?
He's a bully, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that's...
I could get something from
Yeah.
People do think like that, though, and it's peak, you know. But then, yeah, like, I saw their thing and it's like, I just love music. And then even just the intro of it, I was just like, nah, like obviously these lot are starting like these dumb potential here, innit? So I had to reach out. I was like, no, I can't lie, I love your thing. Like, let me hop on. Even when I hopped, I kind of like, I felt like a neek. Even when you were like, oh, I think I remember you guys like, oh, like we're recording season 2 or whatever. I was like, when we can do something, we'll shout you. In my head, I was like, oh, this man, I know it. Fuck it. I was so wrong. Did I just get pod? Alright, it's what it is, isn't it?
Jerry thought he was mad professional doing that as well. Don't kill me.
So it's like, right,
Jerry the Kid.
So it's like, right, let's just get pod.
Do you know what it is, man? Do you know what it is? It's the approach when people actually like, because I'm guilty of doing from like early, not like now, but I was guilty of doing the thing where like I'm not bigging up the people around me doing their thing. And I feel like we've talked about it before. I think like it's a London thing where like because they're so close to us and we see them doing it, but we know them.
I've guilty of it before.
We've grown up with them. It's like, oh, you rap now.
Even one thing I just want to start real quick. Why is it this thing to just laugh at people? Is like, oh, I want to do music, and then all of a sudden it's a joke thing. I think that's mad.
I think that's brazy, and I think it shows. It's them. It's not the person who says, oh, I'm rapping now. It's them.
I think it's a reflection of your insecurity because you see someone going after their dreams or whatever, and it's like, sure, whatever. Like music, cool. But they literally every big rapper started out like that. The second they picked up a pen or whatever and said, "Want to do this?" Probably how someone was like rapping, man, whatever. But then when they blow up, it's like, oh, I remember I was between the trenches.
And because music is like oversaturated as well. That's the second reason.
Vanilla Ice had the first #1 song in hip hop, just going in line with like the history of what hip hop is, the people with the Eric B's and the Rakims, the Wu-Tang, people like that, people that came way before him and then set the pace. A white man saw the thing, made something that it's even a stretch to even call hip hop. Boom, the most, at least at the time, one of the most successful, in fact, the most successful like hip hop song of all time. And then factor in the fact the highest selling rapper of all time, surprise, is white. I mean, shout out M, but at the same time, it's like, would I say the better rappers than M? Yes. But I say the more like influential.
I'm gonna be real. Now I'll explain what I mean. Because in terms of M, yeah,
You actually took the dirtiest.
you see M. Like if he was black, he'd be like Redman kind of level. He'd be a Redman type.
I agree with that.
He'd be like Redman, and Redman's a better lyricist than M.
But then how many people, you can't walk on the street and ask, hey, do you know Redman?
No, that's my point. But that's my point. It's like because he's been able, because he would have listened to like a Rakim and all the 80s rappers, you know what I'm saying, and fashioned himself a little thing. And it's like now he's the biggest rapper of all time. And you can't tell me it's not because he's white, because white people drove out and support him because of his whiteness. Because
yeah, white parents said as the thing is that, oh, this is the type of artist, which is mad when you actually consider Eminem's music. But then they would see M as like, oh, this is the type of person my son can listen to. This man is talking about fucking putting his mom inside closets, fucking kidnapping his daughter. I was like, this is his.
Think about how many times you've heard people say, I don't like rap, I don't listen to hip hop, but I love Eminem.
Like, hello.
Enough man have said that to me, you know, and I've heard it just in interviews. Oh, I'm not really a fan of hip hop, but Eminem's great. I love Eminem. That's brazy. Like what? Like
I know people that have said that.
But think about that. I don't like hip. I don't like the essence of.
Oh, dabbling in Eminem.
Yeah, but I listen to Eminem. That shows you it's something else. And people will say, "Oh, you lot are hearkening so much on skin color." It's no, because these conversations need to be had because this behavior needs to be broken. And for me, I'm more concerned about black people saying stuff like that because that's wild.
That's nuts.
Because in terms of
that's nuts.
white people thinking a white person with the greatest rap of all time is their prerogative, I don't particularly care.
Yeah.
It don't surprise me, innit? But black people who are trying to be white people, modelling that opinion, I think is wild. You know what I'm saying? We had this conversation the other day about H and RD, innit? About remixes, about how people.
No, let's actually get into that. Like the whole.
Go on. You look so spun. Now we can do this.
First of all, like H, I'm not even gonna touch H because I actually like H. Like I like his music. I like
can
his vibe.
bar.
He just
can bar.
idea. Cool. The whole thing. Why is it this thing that we just feel like a lot of white artists or people in general, yeah, once they say something like an Adiola or something like that, everybody gets gassed. Like you guys remember fucking Glizzy, yeah? The white rapper that was like 6'4", whatever. He said a bar in Yoruba to a savage song, and then everybody was gassed. That guy's career literally lasted 24 hours.
I'll tell you
because the next day, it literally came out that he had racist twins dissing black women.
I'll tell you why. It's because we worship white people. That's the very short, simple answer. We worship white people.
People saw a white man say Yoruba, I was like, oh my God. Like,
it's the same reason, like you'll see a dance and you'll see a white person do it mediocre, and it blows on social
celebrate
media.
it. Not even like, we'll
And
just
it's
take
like,
the piss
oh
and be
my
like, oh wow,
gosh,
look at this
like
guy.
Chad's and Chad is invited to the barbecue.
Oh,
You Negroes,
concept,
Negroes give out passes to barbecues. It's like it gets on my nerves.
I remember
I'm tired of it.
Once upon a time there was a nigger pass thing, but you can't try that now. That was a
yeah,
thing once
yeah,
upon a time. You have to remember that.
Yeah, I remember
Everybody
that.
has the nigger
In
pass.
school.
What?
Do you remember in school?
What?
Now telling man them what? A what pass for what? Left in what and techno what? You man are crazy.
And I'll even admit I've been guilty, not of saying it,
Nah,
but like
I've
I've just
never
witnessed it.
given a man
like
an
I've
N-word
witnessed it
pass.
and I've just allowed it. Like I just witnessed
let it
it.
slide,
I've
didn't it?
never given a man an N-word pass. I don't care who he is. And I had white
Oh, you
brethren.
mean as in them using the word?
Yeah.
No, that's never been me. Thank the Lord. But what I'm saying, it comes back to the worship of white people. I sort of could go into a further conversation of why that is, but I don't think people are ready to hear that right now. We could do that later. You know what I'm saying? Because it goes on to people's faith and what people believe and what people have been taught. And it's like, I don't know if people are ready to hear this. Because they've hung up onto certain images that they've seen in certain settings of certain people of people's deities, right? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we all know what we're talking about because we've all seen the same pictures.
Yeah.
We've all seen the same image. You know what I'm saying? But that's why man will praise white rappers as if they're doing something magical. As particularly like a Ardy who's actually whack. H can rap. Ardy's whack. Ardy is fucking shit.
But have you seen the state of her body?
No, big man thing. If I beat it, I'm not wearing a Johnny big man. I swear to God.
That was fun.
Oh man.
Nah, that was
That was fun. But yeah, in terms of H can bar, but I don't think he's among the best rappers in this country though. I'll admit when a man can bar. Like straight bars, is it straight rhymes or straight bars?
Straight rhymes.
Straight rhymes, was it? 2.
Yeah.
That's wicked. That's cool.
I was there too. The one where he's in the car park.
Like,
with the guitar.
Yeah.
I can't lie. Like the first one I saw, I think it was called Straight Rhymes 2. I think he had
Yeah.
the one before that.
Yeah.
But that was cold. Then
Bro.
he can bar. But is there anything special about H apart from the fact that he's from Manchester?
But in fairness, though, H doesn't do like crazy numbers, though. I mean, yeah, he's white.
he does big
He
numbers
does
though.
big numbers.
But not crazy. Not crazy.
crazy, but it's like he does big numbers, especially like YouTube or whatever, but not like crazy, like consistent number one type thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But a reason for that though is the accent. No, let's be real. It's not a bad thing. Big up money. But then, no, I'm getting somewhere, I promise.
Go.
But Bugzy suffers from the same thing. Because the thing is, Bugzy is one of the best rappers in this country.
Whoa.
I genuinely believe that.
Whoa.
That whoa was so
Like
violent.
Bugzy Malone.
It was so violent.
Go on, continue. Sorry, I just interrupted.
He's a lyricist. He's got bars. He's a lyricist.
Yes.
I think he's one of the best bars in this country. But a lot of people don't rate the thing. Yo, stop looking at me, bro.
That's because you repeated the statement. You have to take them off.
I'm processing the statement. So could you repeat that? Bugzy Malone is what? Sorry. No, I'm
You
not.
can't say it now.
The clickbait, innit?
Hey, yo.
This is the title of the video.
What you trying to say? It's like, man, make me try to fire the man, but I believe he's actually one of the best bars in this country.
I better you said that. I believe. Because that's not grounded in actuality and fact. That's not. I believe. Like, there's bare beliefs I can have. Like, the sky could be green. I can believe
my
that.
God.
That don't have to be
You
true.
haven't even let me land, you know.
What?
Sorry, no.
One more time. This
I'm
is
taking
the
the
fourth
video.
time, innit?
Yeah, go.
Like, I believe it's one of the best bars in this country, but a lot of people don't rate it because of the accent, bro. That's how it is. You don't do stuff. You don't enter movies like The Gentleman and stuff like that if you don't have a certain level of talent, innit? It's like, bro, he can rap.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
It's like even thinking about though going back to the whole beef he had with Chip and the whole fire in the booth he had before that. Who expected him to hold his own against Chip like that?
That's a very strange situation, you know, because it's actually very weird, now that I think about it, that a brand new rapper, and he might have been doing these things for years in Manchester before, so I'm saying brand new to us, right, gets into a beef, like, with a top tier MC.
How did that start actually? Because I don't even know.
Bugzy probably called out Chip, because Chip is not randomly calling out Bugzy. He don't know who Bugzy
No,
is.
the thing is that Chip basically in a fire in the booth, like basically like his whole coming back to America tour, he did a fire in the booth, basically like calling out the scene, and then Bugzy did his own fire in the booth, especially like not directly sending for Chip, but then he threw in a bar here and there about it, and the
sucks.
fire in the booth banged as well. It was one of the ones that like they were calling him one of the best ever. So Chip saw that, dropped. Was it Dickhead? No, it wasn't Dickhead. Couldn't have been Dickhead.
No, it wasn't
But
Dickhead.
then he started dropping like, you know, subliminals and stuff like that, and then boom, the whole shit started blowing up. Dickhead drop, light work, zombie killer, and it started going back and forth, innit?
That was a
And
good
then
clash.
Bugsy was holding his own, you know. And then you don't expect that. The people didn't even know who Bugsy was before that.
That's true. There was the tune he dropped about like the Premiership, like, and it was in Tottenham. Everyone thought Chip's career was over. What's that song called again? Where he filmed it in Tottenham.
Yeah, he filmed it in Tottenham.
Yeah, Big Nas was in the video. Everyone thought Chip was done. I thought Chip was done. I'm gonna be real, and I'm a Chip fan, so people might get onto me for that. I say,
I don't think it was done, but I definitely thought.
Bear Man thought Chip was done still, because he filmed it in Tottenham.
I thought
He filmed it in Tottenham, but you have to remember though.
You got
he
it.
filmed
No,
it.
no, no,
But you have to remember, he filmed it at like 2-3 a.m. No one was about.
True, but it's still a thing. He still filmed it in Tottenham.
Yeah, it's still disrespecting, but it's like.
Yeah.
And Chip actually went back to that same location and filmed the video.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
I just find it weird that a brand new artist can even speak to Chip. Like, it's quite brazy now that we think what happened.
But Bugsy's not a new artist.
He's not new. He was new too. That's the thing.
Bugzy.
As much as I love the artists that
years?
came up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been doing
Well, then
this.
I
Yeah.
take that back then.
Yeah, he's been doing this.
as much as I loved a lot of the artists, even though I'm not from here, a lot of the artists from this country I listen to are from London, essentially. Like, there's a whole like city type privilege that you don't really, you guys don't even look. Even a lot of Londoners in general don't even look to the north. All they see is London.
There's a big city privilege, and because
It's a massive city
I'll tell you
privilege,
why. It's
bro.
because we've been indoctrinated, and I was a bit. I think I still am a victim of this.
And to me that's the limitation of the English rap scene because that doesn't exist in America. Like there's a whole Chicago scene, New York.
Oh, no, it used to
HC,
happen,
like-
but people got over that now. If you see, like in the 90s, there was a whole South thing. Them
Yeah,
man
like,
used
there
to
was
say,
new, no,
them man used to say.
there was the East West Side beef and stuff that existed.
No, I'm not even talking about. I'm talking about people. You say Southern rappers are whack.
Yeah.
Southern rappers are. We don't care. Southern music
Yeah.
is shit. It wasn't until
Shout out
Outkast-
3K.
Outkast.
Yeah, shout out
Outkast
3K. When he came, I was
and-
like,
and-
yeah.
That's-
Okay, you guys know your thing. You guys know your thing.
and-
And then he fully went in the mic. Is like, tell them the South has something to say.
yeah.
And then from there, that's when
It
obviously
was
start.
And
That
that was
was
in the
the-
middle
yeah.
of the
East Coast, West Coast, and
Yeah.
also it was Pimp C and Bumby were doing the underground thing for years, and then
But nobody read the thing.
2001 was Big Pimp, we spend the cheese, baby. Sorry about that song.
We
That,
can't
that's
talk about that song anymore.
We can't support this song.
Yeah.
I was saying, like, he's really gonna sing this out, you know.
But yeah, I was gonna say, I think us lot will get over that because the amount of rappers that are blowing from like Birmingham has bare rappers that, like Miss.
Yo, Lady
Millions.
Alicia did not get enough credit in her time, bro.
You know what happened?
The
to her?
entire Queen's Speech series, especially 4.
I think it was 3 that was
Bro.
the dopest for me.
Which one was full again? There was
Brush your
one-
teeth.
Brush your teeth, yeah.
It was that. It got a bit corny towards the end. Brush your teeth, tell them. Like, it's catchy. It's a good song, but it gets a bit corny.
Yeah, then brush your teeth.
Brush your teeth. Again, she's a bars.
Yeah.
She's a bar.
Yeah, but she's been about.
She's been
About. She's cold. She was cold. But I'm gonna say that whole regional thing is because we Londoners have been indoctrinated that we talk normally. And
Yeah.
everyone else sounds funny.
Yeah. No,
And
well-
I still kind of suffer from that. That I still think, why is this you talking to me in some funny accent? I have to like actively think not to do it. I'm gonna be real. We genuinely think that if you're from Brum, you're from Manchester. People still do it on Twitter all now. They'll go, oh,
Take the
the
piss out of that
accent.
accent.
All the time. Especially people that we've heard for the first time. Like, you see man from like Sheffield. We still think them man sound funny. Like, we kind of got used to
I
Brum.
go uni chef, but keep going, bro.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and you know you said that as well. I was like, oh wait.
No, I'm
Hey, yo!
You know what it is? Basically, what it is.
You know what?
Wait,
You know what it is? You know what it is?
see me. I don't take back no talk. What I will say is this though. You see, but it's just up north mainly because us sort of getting used to Birmingham. We're somewhat getting used to Manchester, but we're not really used to Manchester yet because in terms of even, as you said, Bugzy don't get the love he deserves. I still disagree with you in the sentiment that he's one of the best rappers in this country. But he can bar. He's quite sick. You know what I'm saying? And like if you go proper into country like Yorkshire and that, we are never taking them man seriously.
Nope.
Which is rude. Because they could probably bar, you know. And enough
I
grind,
can't think
man.
of any rapper from them sides.
Especially like in terms of knots, man, can spray on grime. They've been doing the grime. Like
that's-
Mez, who else? J Dot. Them men are cold.
But they don't get the respect because they're not from London.
And also Mez.
And it's disrespecting. Even Mist is a legend. But all whole Birm things that people don't read. And it's
I think people are starting to rate the grime
starting.
thing,
But how
like-
long has Mist been here though?
But he still gets his love though. He's coming back.
But
now.
that's a recent thing. That's a recent thing. You have to be real. Like Mist, the love Mist is getting is fairly recent.
what
It's
last
fairly
4 or
recent.
5 years.
And look at what Bugzy had to do to get the love. He had to bar up one of the best rappers in this country.
That's facts. That's true. And he did hold his own still for a long time until there was just a flood of this song. Then it's like, yeah, it's long.
Literally,
This
bro.
deserves it as well, though.
Yeah, like I also was literally talking about that just now.
Yeah.
Who else in terms of Brum who's really spraying like that? Because I like a lot of Brum rappers, but a lot of them are like drilly
Where's
drilly.
JK from?
JK from Brum, he's cold.
JK's from Brum.
Cause man, I like JK. Where have you been? Cold.
Dun, dun, dun. Yo, that was hard. I should
I was the
amazing
best man when D2 got married. The pallbearer when Deps got yeah, cold.
You hear that shit playing in Power, I was like, shit, Jake, is
Yeah.
that you, yeah?
That was a big song.
yeah.
Two-Fake was a big song still. Two-Fake is still his best song.
And man, I like Jake. I was like, wow. Like,
Because
shit.
I've been listening to that from like Invasion Alert, Clashes and stuff. Because
Yo,
obviously
the Clashes,
they were big on the grime
bro.
scene, innit? Doing their thing for years, and obviously that song.
But then even at that, Jakey got coined during the whole Lord of the Mic things back in the day.
he got proper.
He got coined for that because of the accent. But then he was literally barring, man.
Yeah, he duppied. Like what's his name again? Like you clash.
Fuck. What did he clash again?
Discarder, who's from Lewisham or something, or South. He's from South.
Jakey won the clash, but it was like, again, people won't rate the team because he's from Brum.
That's literally what it is still.
That's what it is.
Yeah, but
Even you saying that, like, I disagree that Bugzy is one of the best bars, like, chances are you probably do not hear past, because even his last album, not the one that just dropped recently, because I thought that was a bit meaty, but like the one that dropped before that, I was listening to songs like Live by the Gun, like shit like that. I was just like, oh my god, like this guy is actually saying something.
I don't disagree that he's sick. I draw the line at one of the best in the country. Because to me, I'm talking about elite MC.
Okay, you know what? Let's do it then. Top 5 countries, like, top 5 bars in this country. Go.
Bars in this country.
Go. No order, by the way.
K.A., Gets, Wretch, R.A., Real Artillery, and the fifth one I need to think of right now. I can't think off the top of my head. But I got 4 for you.
R.A.
Right?
Top 5.
Have you listened to R.A.? Because who else does Grease like R.A. in this country?
That's a good point.
No one does. Even man like Gets, who can do Grease. Gets can't do Grease like R.A. In terms of like the young...
You mentioned Gets, right?
Yeah, I've already mentioned Gets. Mine is K.A., Gets, Wretch. I say R.A. and I need a fifth one. I just need to think of who's the fifth person. Chip! Moving mad. Chip! Yeah.
Fizz.
Me, no, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even a bars man like that. So I couldn't give
Swear
you like
down.
a top 5. Yeah, man, like
He's
as a
a beats man
producer
in
of
the
beats,
sounds.
innit?
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Fair
mean?
enough.
Yo.
My boy.
What's going on, bro?
Bro.
Yeah, no, if I give a top 5, it would be
You
four.
said you
Like,
can't do a top 5 bars. Like, what?
no, I'm not even in the UK like that. Man.
I said top 5. Alright, in terms of just artists then, because we can switch the... In fact, before you do that, how about your top 5 bars?
Yeah.
Again, no order here, but I mean, no order, but Wretch is on top because come on, it's Wretch, innit? Wretch Gets, K.A. Again, that top 2. The thing with Chip, yeah, I respect his thing, obviously what he's done, but then when he went to America, like,
You can't knock a man for selling out. Everyone's done it.
sorry, but oopsie,
Every man has
but
had a
oopsie
shit
daisy,
commercial
but
phase.
oopsie daisy.
Oopsie daisy. That was wicked though. I like. No, I'm joking.
Lie, what we looking around?
Oh my god.
Nah, but I mean, to be fair dudes, everyone's getting the bed up right now. I was like, alright, fine, do your thing. But when Chip came back the right way, I'm proud of everyone. Everyone came for him.
And he set for everyone's top. And
He licked everyone off. Like, big up him. He did it the right way. But when I put him in my top 5, no.
I know, it was so massive.
Wow.
I said K.A., right?
Yeah,
Had
you said
to.
K Gets.
I can't not
Rich.
put Skepta there. I can't not.
Wow.
I can't not put Skepta
Because
there.
I was thinking to put Skepta, but I think
I can't not
because
put Skepta
his
there.
commercial phase was a bit too meaty. Do the Rolex sweep. Do the Rolex sweep. Come on, G.
You're mocking it.
I like Skepta. I really like Skepta, but
Nah,
a
but
man
what's
told
Oh,
us.
by the way, I'm not talking all time, but I'm just talking right now. And last one, I have to put Dave.
I'm not mad at that.
Because the thing is that I'm just a guy that likes concept albums, innit? And a lot of artists from here don't even really do them type things. So when he actually came out with the psychodrama thing, and it was just like, yo, like
He's
this
levels
is-
above everyone else.
Like he actually shows that this is my scene now. Like he came and was like, this is my scene. I don't know what he's gonna do with the next project because he's looking to be going into that commercial phase. I pray.
But no, it's like what JJ said earlier. Like for me, he's like an artist now. He stepped up from just being a rapper and just dropping like singles and projects or whatever. He became an artist when he did that concept album.
Literally, like, and that again in the UK, you don't really get that. Like, it had a theme. Like you heard the pain in his voice. Obviously, he
Like,
gave
he has skits. Not
that
what
is
you
it.
You can't even really
Words,
call it skits.
words.
Like it's literally his brother in pain.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
bro.
Yeah.
It's like
That's what I could make an argument that that's
Shit.
the best project to come out of this country. I'm gonna be real.
I can put it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I can make a strong argument. That's the best project because the concept, as you said, of him talking to Brother Joe, talking to like the psychiatrist, the therapist, is
Bro.
levels. There's levels because even with J Hus's 2 projects, they weren't as in depth. They were just wicked songs.
Oh yeah.
They weren't as in depth. You know what I'm saying?
Bangers.
They were bangers.
Bangers.
That
But it
2
was more like a
albums are
collection
bangers.
of bangers, not like an
it's not
album.
It's not setting a scene. We're just seeing Hus at different points in his life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this one, he brought in the more conscious content. But I don't know what he's gonna do next.
Do you know who doesn't get enough credit in this country? And I hate giving credit to the white man, but Fraser T. Smith.
Dope.
Like,
I hear
He's
that.
dope.
Definitely
He's
hear that.
dope.
Bro.
He's dope.
But he's
dope, I'm
the
not gonna
kind
lie.
of person you don't need to like see him and like big him up, like big his name up like properly, because the people that really know, they
Like-
know.
No, I'm not gonna
people
lie.
that know, like, if you look at the albums he's responsible for, it's like shit. Obviously,
terms of
Psycho
production.
Shit, Gang Signs, fuck, bro. It's like he's actually. I mean, he's never gonna get his credit because producers in general don't get their credit, and he's deeper than the producer. Like he's like, oh, man, shout out Fraser, bro. But then in general, just going back to the whole Dave and stuff like that, like Dave, the KAs, like, it's deeper than rap. Like the storytelling, like everyone now is trying to get a bar off or like if I do this, if I try it again, it could probably be a hit song or whatever. It's like everyone's seeing that where the bag is at, but then there's not really that much storytelling anymore. And to be fair, it's actually happening in even just overall hip hop now. Everyone's just seeing that where the bag is at.
It's TikTok. It's viral.
It's like
it's
literally
moments.
that's the thing. Is like okay, what can go on a 10-second TikTok video?
Or just what's viral. Like
What's popular?
there's man are making songs talking about everybody they've done wickedness to. Because they know people are going to repost saying, oh my God, that is so egregious. And people are interacting with negative content. And people are pouncing off that. People are making holes and people are even lying. Because think about how much wickedness guys are chatting on their song. And crime rates
They
and stuff
could
like that.
not have done
It don't really
all of that.
correlate.
It don't add up. The math is not mathing, bro.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Obviously, people have been capping it. That's the history of it. But
people been lying in hip hop forever. I'm not even mad at people are
Yeah,
lying.
yeah.
But it's the wickedness that they go into to lie. Like, you're paining people's parents and other things. Like, it's a different
most of the people
conversation.
that actually like told the truth are in pain. Like
Yeah. On
they're
the
in
wickedness, like, let's be real. Because you're talking about people that are actually dead. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's one thing I really hate, and that's what one thing from the Chicago drill scene, which us lot have imported, which I think is the neakiest thing that our scene has done. We've imported the whole packs and all that. You know what I'm saying? Smoking on.
Yeah, it's like smoking on.
Yeah, I think that's the worst part.
Yo, 2K is probably the most disrespected person in hip hop, bro.
Yeah.
And that's-
So Tuka was a part of a gang in Chicago.
Okay.
Which Chief Keef and all them lot.
Context: he died when he was 16, but just continue.
They've rinsed his name. So Lil Durk, all them lot have made.
even King Von, that's gone now. Like
all of them rinsed his name, talking about Tuka packs and.
yeah, it's like we smoking on Tuka. Like so, it's many man saying like, oh, we smoking on Tuka. It's like, bro, I told you my brother has been dead for a
And I
time.
can't lie. The first time I heard it, I really thought it was weed. Then I searched it up. I said, "Oh
Same.
my gosh!"
Literally, one day, if you're just bored, just looking at the Chicago drill scene, it's like, oh, these men are fucked.
But it's
Chief Keef.
But it's the whole culture there is just so toxic.
Yeah.
And once you look at things, is you'll see the worst areas in both London but especially Americas were at one point the most pro-black, and they've done it. It's kind of done on purpose. You know what I'm saying? They had like the chapters of like the Black Panthers, Marcus Garvey's organizations, where there are so many chapters of them, but like the local MPs in them areas just stifled them and said, we're gonna create the worst ghettos in these areas. Like in the South was the most, because it was so racist over there, obviously it was the strongest reaction to the racism. So there was people carrying guns in the South to basically protect themselves in it. And now in the South you have the worst hoods in like Texas, you know what I'm saying? Them sort of areas. And that's a response to the crack era. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's how a psychological warfare is waged. They say, oh, you lot are fighting back through this, we're gonna ravage your communities. Like, you know what I mean? With guns, drugs, and violence, and that's what hip hop has come out of, really. Because before that, there was the pro-black hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was groups talking about Nation of Islam and other things which are controversial, and now we got gangsterism. Because in 1988, we got Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, MC Ren, and Eazy-E, rest in peace, who came out with a bag of songs talking about disrespecting women, killing black people. And I like their music, but we gotta keep it real. And then even guys I like a Biggie and a Tupac, they weren't positive rappers, bro.
Of course not.
You know what I'm saying? But people from like an elder generation try to act like music got bad recently. Nah, G, this has been a 30, 40 year...
Like, the music you listen to is peak as well, bro.
Potentially even worse. In terms of if you're looking into what it did. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fair, yeah.
Biggie literally has this whole ass sketch on Ready to Die, literally being like literally smashing a woman. Like, that is live on TV.
Yeah, and like I already told you off camera don't you know my
Lord.
in napkins, I mean, ain't from over the bridge, that's how it is. On the song, and it's not edited, it's not like, do you know what I'm saying? So it's like we gotta look at our favourite rappers in the context that fashion them, and it's not blaming them, do you know what I'm saying? But understanding the conditions that created them.
Yeah.
Because it's like they're products of the environment which was created by governments, innit? That's literally what it is. And there was a tax on us, really, what it is.
Yeah.
'Cause
So then, even with that, then what do you guys think about the drill scene here? Because obviously people will make arguments like, oh, like, this is essentially a lot of people's way out, and this is how they make their bread, like, they're telling their stories, blah, 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 blah. But then do you also think that, because obviously there's two sides to the story, that people think, it's inciting violence, so, like, what do you guys think about that? Because even now, when the government, for example, just goes around fucking taking their shit off YouTube and whatever, like, I don't support that at all.
I definitely don't support that.
Because in my head, I'm just thinking, it's like, well, if they're not making bread, like, you know, the music thing, how else do you think they're going to try to make bread?
What are they going to do?
And that's the point. It is to scapegoat the artists. Because it's far easier to scapegoat the artist and blame the artist as if the artist created those conditions. The actual governments created the conditions. They created the ghettos. But some black people will get it misconstrued as if we've lived in ghettos our whole lives, like our whole existence. It's a 30, 40 year experience. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if we put it in the context of this country, it was in our grandparents came over, or you guys' parents maybe, because obviously I'm Caribbean, innit? So my great grandma came over, then she sent for her children, who's my grandma, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's only what, like 50, 60, and even then,
Long ago.
and those lot weren't even living in ghettos them times. They were just communities. It wasn't ghettos until drugs and guns got imported into the neighborhoods. Drugs and guns don't get imported into Kensington. They don't get imported into Chelsea. I'm not gonna say Fulham because that's a different story. But Chelsea, do you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't get imported into the West End. So there's a reason for that. And they've obviously programmed us to hate ourselves already through hundreds of years of like indoctrination, falsifying history, and all this other stuff. Do you get what I'm saying? So now to put it back in the context of drill, it's like they're not taking those circumstances into account because it puts them at fault. So they have to blame the artists and say, let's just take their music down and force these man them back on road. Do you know what I'm saying? It's about putting more black men in prison. So I don't support rapping about killing each other. Never have, never will. But if it gets them off the road, I'm like, I'd rather them off the road. I'd rather them talking about killing people than killing people. But I also have a little stipulation for me. I think you should stop. Like,
They stop sending those.
Like the whole thing of man still talking about they're from the streets and like they're going mobiles, they're going GRM awards. Like, if you're going to award shows and if you're popping in this rap thing, you shouldn't have to talk about your pagans. I don't care what sells.
I agree with that.
And people bring this, that's what sells argument. It's kind of it's just false, and I'll explain what I mean. It's like we dictate the market, innit?
Yeah.
But because we've been programmed, we dictate a rubbish market. Does that make sense? We've been programmed to hate ourselves. So the market we currently dictate is negative, destructive music.
We love fuckeries.
95% of the music we come with isn't even just destructive. It's just not. If I say 100% of the music, then no, that's false. 99% of the music is just not positive. It's because there's the 1% that is positive. Because I say 95% is destructive, and there's like 3-4% that isn't even destructive. It's just not positive. Like there's guys talking about money and like consumption, like overconsumption.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily negative, but it's not positive,
You
innit?
get me, yeah.
Because it's just talking about man get their money and spend it with designers who aren't black anyway, so you're giving away your black wealth into non-black businesses. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of cycle that a man are in.
So I'm saying it's a cycle.
And it's not even, and it'll be, oh, I'm not disrespecting gal, but I got enough gal. That's not inherently destructive, is it? But it's not positive either. So that's what drill music is. And when I see guys making drill songs about gal, it's like, yeah, I like it, but it's like, how are you talking
About gal or for?
Pardon?
About gal or for?
Yeah, gal. I'm like, because for gal can just be gangsters, because some girls, and that's part of the problem as well, in terms of the road thing, girls have been conditioned to like these men. That's true. You know what I'm saying? Like, gal have been programmed to like these men. I think these men are attractive. Because as us lot had this conversation off camera, like, where we said back in the day, the whole bad man thing weren't cool. You was considered a tramp. Like, it weren't a fashionable thing. Guys on the road, you had to have bare money before you was cool. You had to be a mash town. You had to be you know what I'm saying? You had to be one of them guys. If you were just a street youth, you was a street youth. You know what I'm saying? But now, guys are jumping on the road thinking all these perks come with it when it's dead or in jail. Or PTSD, psychologically mash up. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I feel like I went off topic around.
Nah.
Yeah,
No, you're good.
but my final answer is I don't believe in banning it. I think in terms of the influence and the violence, I think it's a bit of a two-way street. Because yes, it can, but there would still be violence if there was not one drill song made. There was guys stabbing each other up to old school hip-hop beats, like Styles P and that. So drill music is not the cause. It's the factors implemented by governments that have enabled us to be led astray. You know what I'm
And
saying?
the crazy thing about this cycle is that they still will benefit from that anyways.
Either
They'll
way,
benefit
yeah.
from the music, they'll benefit from if they were to go off and they go out stabbing people or whatever. Either way, they all benefit because if it's not the music that they're making money off through taxes or whatever, it's the narrative that gets fed into people stabbing themselves in the streets. Like, oh, look at these black, like, oh,
Black
this is
on
why
black
we should
violence
have
and
stop
stuff
and
like that.
search.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. And it just helps with gentrify. Like, it's just like everything is in design. I believe that there's nothing that like
There's no accidents.
there's no accident.
100%.
I believe that they see everything is like everything is planned.
No, I 1000%
Everything is
agree with you.
fine.
And because we still operate in their system, innit? Because if we operate outside our system and have our own, that's when we can implement structures and things so we can counteract against that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if we're still operating in the system, yeah, of course everything's going to be geared towards them because they fashioned it that way. It's like being trapped inside a room and you open one door but it leads into a different part of the yard. You know what I'm saying? It's their yard. You know what I'm saying? You think you've escaped one room, let's say that's slavery. You're now like on the continent, you've been imperial, like there's a bit like an imperialist assault on the whole continent. You know what I'm saying? After then it's independence, where it comes out where they now fashion black people to just do the same thing white people were doing, getting neo-colonialism. You know what I'm saying? You move from that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like different tricks, and we keep thinking, oh, we might have done, but we've not done it. When it's just freedom and independence, but yeah. It's a difficult one still.
Man,
Very
it's
difficult one.
It's just so techy because at the end of the day, you think about it in the perspective where it's like people have died over these people have died over their ends, which I already think is mad because in my head I'm thinking, not even trying to be on a disrespecting, but then in a sense you're dying over a white man's land. It's like I'm not good. Like there's certain places, like even the name of the place, like do you really want to die for? Let me not say cities because it's gonna look like I'm sending for certain places.
No,
but then it's
I
like
technically agree with you.
Yeah.
It's what it is because obviously us have been taught to not value our lives. Like Akala, who is a big inspiration to me personally,
God.
he speaks in prisons in it, and he's spoken to a number of young black men, and he asked them. Obviously, he's half white in it. He says to them, "Oh, I'm half white. If I was to rap about going around murdering white people like crackers or honkies, whatever, and I go around rapping about that, would you call me a racist?" he got two reactions. People laughed in his face and said, "Are you being serious?" Or they said, "Nah, fam, that's racist." The same man who are perfectly fine with him saying the N-word in songs, talking about killing N-words in songs. That shows you that black people value white life over black life. Do you catch what I'm saying? That's the thing that we're not understanding, is that we don't value our own lives in that sense. Do you catch my drift? So dying over a postcode don't mean nothing, because it's like, I'm not valuing my life anyway. Think about the reasons certain men have got stabbed. Not all the time, but it'll be like, I stepped on a man's shoes, or da-da-da-da-da. And then obviously the beef exacerbates, because that's not what the issue is no more. It's not about no one's shoes. You've touched my brethren. So I understand why beefs get like that, because they get like that. But the original cause for some of them is foolishness. But that's what happens if you're indoctrinated to hate yourself. You look at our next black man like a threat. And I've been guilty of it, and I still have to think about this all the time. I'm still a tiny bit guilty of this, but it's different. I'm kind of aware I'm doing it, and I hate that I do it. It's like, I'll be somewhere, and I'll be traveling, and maybe a group of black, or one black youth will look at you, and you look at them back, and you're still in the age range of something might happen. So you kind of defend yourself. I know you lot have done it before, innit? Like, not overtly, but you readied your mind for, okay, I'm either gonna look away, or you catch my drift.
Like, you're just moving funny, like something's
you're
about to happen,
moving funny
but you don't need
when
to.
there's nothing that's
is happening.
funny about it.
Yeah, and it's like, if that was a group of Asian youths, that was a group of white youths, you wouldn't have done that. Because you don't view them as a threat. But we've been taught to see ourselves as threats. You catch man's drift.
Yeah.
That's true. Like, if you see certain brothers coming your way, especially late at night, in your head you're thinking, oh, I hope this man don't chat to me or whatever. And it's mad because they're your own. You see this white man do it, and it's like, bruv, that's just a move, man. Like, you walk past him like there's nothing, you have nothing to worry about. But then you see your people look just like you. It's just like, oh shit, okay, where's my phone? Like, okay, I'll make sure everything. Like, yes, that's just going back to indoctrination, innit? Like, a lot of it is stuff, be it even media and everything else. Like, it's force fed to us, but in such a way that it's literally so slick that if you blink, you miss it. You wouldn't even clock. Like, even in the cartoons we watch, bro.
It's everything, bro.
It's everything, the little things that you don't even pick up on. It's like, really tell you, it's like black people. It's like black people should be the ones to fear. Like, but it's mad, isn't it? Like, But let's go back to the music, because that's just depressing.
Yeah, I didn't mean to go on that tangent.
No, it's an important topic, bro. Like,
bro, we actually end up doing that a lot on this podcast.
Nah, but because you got that deeper thinking in it, so you understand like where it's coming from.
Yes.
I was just gonna say, with the question in regards to like drill music and the sort of censorship, like on the lines of essentially what he was saying, like censorship, I don't agree with at all, because it don't do
100%.
no good. Like, it's benefiting them anyways. But at the same time, it's like, if you're stopping them making music, where are they going to go from there?
Go back to ends.
Exactly. But from the other side of it, I think it's a thing where, like, there definitely needs to be, like, groups of people, or just conversations had with certain groups of people where, like, you go from, right, you're making this drill music, where to next? Like, where do you go from there? Because you're, like, there's
But then at the
people-
same time, it's like, even the elders, for example, when you see Hedy and Tion Wayne beefing on a plane, and these are people that have made it out. Like, Tion Wayne just had a #1 song, Hedy had a #1 album,
And he's still rapping drill. Like,
and
his most recent.
it's not even about rapping it. I have no problem rapping it. Literally, fucking, even rest in peace, Pop Smoke. Like, Pop Smoke was using this, like, British producers that was giving, like, drill tunes or whatever. So I have no problem with the genre of grime. Obviously, like, we can talk about, like, the lyrics and everything there, whatever. But in general, I have no problem with you rapping rap. But when you're actually going out with, for example, when you see Hedy and Tion, like, fighting on the plane or whatever, people that follow that, people that represent both their ends, like, oh, they violated my man. Like, when we see him on road, it's long. Like, stuff like that. And that's on a plane with two big men that have made it out. Like, these lot are good, bro.
But see, with the examples you gave, yeah, and it's with, like, a lot of other people as well, like, people that have, you know, come from, like, that sort of lifestyle into the music industry. You gotta remember, the music industry is not built for just anybody. Like, you have to have a sort of mental strength where you know where you're coming from and you know where you want to go. These lot have made it out in a thing where, like, you know, I've made it now, you know, I want to do it big. Like, whatever sort of goal that they have in mind, yeah, it's not come from just understanding the music industry and what and how to maneuver it. It's just come from, like, we've straight hustled our way into it and we're just gonna go from there. They're just almost sort of winging it in a way. So, like, they're not no one is ready for that sort of lifestyle. When you're constantly on camera, like you wouldn't film them if you didn't know who they were. Like on the plane, you would just be like, you know, like it's just people there. Everyone, because you know who they are, you're capturing on film, and then it's going viral. They don't know how to handle that because they're just having that situation there at that moment in time.
It's a difficult one because now I've been thinking about it. It's like if them lot didn't do anything on the plane, a bag of people, these internet youths who are so moist, who aren't involved in anything, would call them moist. They say, you lot saw each other on a plane and da 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 da.
But that's still part of the industry. It's still part of the industry, innit?
Although I'm mad at them because it got caught on camera and it makes us look bad as a people, it's like, now I think about it, it's like, if you're really about that life, I get why they did it. I'm mad because how it looks, innit? But it's like...
But at the same time, if these two lot are rap about that literally rap drill or whatever, and then people find out that they were on the same plane and nothing happened,
which is crazy.
The mature thing would be to clap them off and say, oh rah, these lot didn't say nothing, like. But then
it goes back to what you were saying about like we're indoctrinated to love the fuckery, fam.
We want
to see something go down.
And this is where I have the issue with it, because people love the fuckery until someone dies. People love the fuckery, people love the foolishness until somebody go on dead. So what we need to come out of is undoing the filth from our mind. Do you get what I'm saying? Because we can't praise the music, then when someone's dead is he's a good you. Those two, that's dissonance, cognitive dissonance. How can you love a music that's destructive, but when someone dies it's like like he should, like, you know what I'm saying, stop the violence. You lot clap for the violence. I saw a lot of people reposting that video as if it was something cool. Like, what? Man fighting on a plane is cool to you lot, and you wonder why things ain't progressing. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like we therefore have like consumers are culpable. We're a part of it. You know what I'm saying? We're part of it because we give them a platform to do it. If we supported positive music, if we were able to undo some of the programming and push like a Sims, like a Lil Sims, then, you know what I'm saying? Not just like, or like a retro cut, whatever. Because I'm hearing a lot of the, it sounds good. Who told you it sounds good? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you've been programmed to think that sounds good.
Yeah.
Like, all party music doesn't have to... Why does our party music have to involve killing someone?
True.
What other group of people's music, party feel-good music, is man talking about killing each other? Or like drugs, or like selling drugs to each other? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In communities that probably have far worse crime rates than us. If you really look at it. Like, if you go Glasgow at one point was way more dangerous than London. Obviously, that's changed very recently, in the last 2-3 years, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? But if you go into Durham or other parts of England, there's some people are so hooked on London, we think London is the only dangerous place, you know. There's places where there's no black people, which are far more dangerous than London, innit? Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. But it
doesn't fit their narrative.
Yeah, but you don't see them man even making music about it unless they're copying us. Unless they're doing a drill, they're doing a trap. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm just in a sticky situation with it, because it's like, I want man them to get out the ends. I want man them to make music.
Yeah.
But I can't keep supporting fuckery. And then when someone dies, I've got to act as if it's not related. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. I've got to act like that weren't the root cause of the problem. A man weren't claiming to be on so much stuff. So, and I don't want no one to die. Because I'm tired of, you know what I'm saying?
It's enough, yeah.
It's numbing, because we already have assaults via the police and all the stuff we're seeing in the news, and like people claiming that this country isn't racist, and you know what I'm saying? We already have enough of that. And I'm seeing videos in Hyde Park, and man are getting chased with machetes, and in Greenwich, man are getting, you know what I'm saying?
Even that isn't even getting enough, like, and again, I know we're supposed to be talking about music or whatever, but obviously there's a lot of this stuff is important to be said. A whole 14-year-old literally died. I think it was like, 5-6 white men stabbed him up or whatever. Like, imagine what the headlines would look like. Obviously, it's not defendable anyway, but imagine what the headline would look like if a 14-year-old white boy got stabbed
by 5 black youths. Are you mad?
Like, the problem is that they weren't even youth. They were
big men, yeah. They were big men.
Big men, bro. Someone was like 35. So it's like these aren't even used to big men. Imagine what the headline would look like if a 14-year-old white you got stabbed by 5 big black men. It's like, bro.
This is why it's important to have our own media platforms, though, because we control our narratives. Like, we are getting fed things because we're still again, it's the operating in the system thing. Like, if we had our own media outlets, we could shout about the stuff which affects us.
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, but we're constantly reliant on the people oppressing us to tell our stories for us and then getting mad at them for not telling our stories. It's kind of crazy when you think about it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can't really get mad at them because it's their platform. They can do whatever the fuck they want with it. Man.
Yeah.
Shit, then.
Yeah.
I did not think we'd get into that, but I do like these conversations.
No, it's important. It's stuff
You
that
guys know me.
Because we can get into the fuck. Obviously, the fuck really gets views and Reddit.
Yeah.
We already know how it is. But then, obviously, it's important that we have these conversations because as much as we all love music, like music is a lot deeper than going studio saying Reddit. Like music should be a reflection, like storytelling, and essentially that's what grime is. But is it not grime? I mean, grind, but that's what drill is. Drill is a form of storytelling. Obviously, it's mad in line with the context, but then I just feel like music should, be a story, not just the things like it's cool every now and then when people are dancing and like we all love to turn up sometimes, and we need some new music to turn up to. But at the same time, it's like like sometimes you just actually just want to just like hear someone else's story. That's why I love podcasts so much. I really don't understand why people don't, because it's just like conversations like, oh, this is how this person thinks, this is how this person thinks, and this is how the world thinks. So it's like, should I think like that, or just get educated on something.
100%, bro. It's always good to take in new perspectives. It's always good to see where you might be wrong. But then again, sometimes it's good to stand on your square, because although someone might offer some new information, it's like if your information is better supported by the evidence, you always should try and move off the evidence, because it's good to feel something, but when it's based on evidence, it kind of stands alone. It defends itself.
Yeah.
But I always tell people, have your belief. Just stay it as a belief, because no one can really get onto you for how you feel about something unless it's banter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What a dev son.
My God ought to be for Bugzy now.
I was gonna just say music should be a reflection of culture, innit? It's a cultural aspect, and it should show people in their true culture. But when culture is influencing you and it's like a reflection of your destruction, it's like, that's not sustainable, is it?
That's sick, no.
And it's amazing how hip hop has even lasted how long it's been going.
And become the biggest genre on earth.
Yeah, but there's a reason why it's become the biggest genre on earth, though. You know what I'm saying? Because like if it stayed like in its positive sense, it wouldn't be the biggest genre on earth, would it? Because
probably not.
to those
People love
machines,
controversy, bro. Love controversy.
You know what I'm saying? But I really enjoyed that conversation.
Yeah.
Proper.
Yeah, properly. It was good. I'm actually mad happy that we got the Bugzy thing on camera. That was the funniest. He literally said the statement 4 times. And Lewis had to be like, okay.
I was like, he really means this. Like, he's dead
No, I
serious.
respect it because you stood your square. A big man thing, I respect that.
Of course, you think I'm gonna say, oh no, I don't rate the man. I know you guys are just in your London pretty privilege. It's okay. I get it, bro. At least me, I see England, you man see London, and it's okay. It's okay. I can't really hate on the thing. Like, you man are from here, like, you man are from here. Man said Bugzy is the best rapper. I mean, at least I said Bugzy is one of the best rappers because I know you about to.
I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing. I'm gonna
Bugzy is one of the best bars in this country.
Sound
Man
off your machine.
Man looked at me like I was big enough Vanilla Ice or something. Like, bro.
I hang tight, but no, I'm lying. Don't
Not
here. But yeah, should we just wrap up and then, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Man, we even do intros. God damn, I even introduced.
Nah, we just flew into that.
Nah, word. That's kind of how it should be sometimes. Isn't it? But we could intro you like properly again.
Fast, come on, bro. Like, I like the flow of this thing, bro. It's just like proper, like.
Do you watch Halfcast podcast, by the way?
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah.
Jerry hates the intros, man.
No,
Jerry can't stand intros. You know, he got onto me one time. I probably introduced you. He just looked at me, and then after he said, you know, like with the intros thing, like is he half guard? And he gave the half guard snap again. I said, he proper don't like doing the intros. No. Oh my day.
No, I feel it like even with us, like our thing, it's just like we just go. Like we don't even know, but when we have guests, it's just like customers like, like this is blah blah blah, and then let's get into it. And then with me, I'm with the bullshit. I'll ask whatever. Like I told you guys off camera what I do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm with the BS. Like I don't care. But then you're just like like this is where, and of course I have to plug my thing. You know, shout out Green Passport Podcast. You know,
Big up,
Yeah.
big podcast in
Hey,
this
let's
thing.
do that.